I'm asking you, when you've had the conversation or any conversation related to any of this with them, and don't gaslight me like, nah, I never talked to them.
You're not going to like what I said. You're not going to like what I got to say.
So when you talk to Jay-Z or you talk to Desiree Perez,
Jay-Z has never mentioned you.
This interview went nothing like how I thought it would, bro. Act did not bring the same energy he had on stream to Charlamagne to his face. And I'm going to tell you why. Simply because Act got a little bored in this interview. He got sunned by Charlamagne in this interview. This interview proved 3 things to me, bro. Number 1, Charlamagne is most definitely in bed with Roc Nation, whether he want to admit it or not. He might not work for them, but he definitely a spokesperson for them. Because that's what he sounded like throughout this entire interview. You feel me? Number 2, Ack is not street smart at all. Ack is not street smart, bro. And this interview also proved, bro, Ack has never truly been outside. Because some points and scenarios that Charlamagne was trying to break down to him, Ack was just totally oblivious and naive to, which just clearly demonstrated, bro, you are not street smart. You have no street smarts whatsoever. As long as you've been in this hip-hop media again, you have not picked up on no street smarts whatsoever, which is crazy to me. But, I mean, hey, it is what it is. And number 3, this interview benefited Charlamagne, and then it hurt Act in so many ways, bro. You know what I'm saying? Charlamagne made Act look like he losing his mind. He made Act look like basically he's on a conspiracy theory run, trying to say Roc Nation is trying to take him and Grant Wizard down. You know what I'm saying? He basically just made Akademiks out to look like a maniac. And it was multiple times in this interview where Charlamagne asked him, bro, you all right? Are you on drugs? Bro, you sounding like a manic. He constantly challenged Act on all those fronts. And one way he was able to make Act look crazy was because Act never came with no truth, no real hardcore proof or facts to back up any of the claims he was making on his own stream. You know what I'm saying? And this also proved to me, bro, Act did not prepare for this interview the way he should have. You know what I'm saying? You sitting down with a media savvy trained assassin like Charlamagne, somebody you've been idolizing for however long. You've been waiting to sit down with since your first sit down with him that you had at the beginning of your career. Why would you not prepare better for this interview, bro? Why would you not anticipate some of the questions and pushback he was going to give you when it came to Roc Nation? You know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z. Because I'm going to just keep it a beam, bro. He made Act just look like Act just don't know what the hell he be talking about half the time. And then in some instances, he pretty much is right. He wasn't prepared for this interview, y'all. And it clearly showed Charlamagne ran circles around him. And to be quite honest, this was a setup from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Not intentionally, but it was, because I think Charlamagne knew what he was going to do to Act in this interview. And then at the time, and then also still playing on this mental, talking about Act, you know, I rock with you, you know, this, that, and the third. While the whole time he was sunning and little boy Act throughout the entire interview, making Act thinking he was crazy, gaslighting Act to the point that Act was questioning himself. Like he knew he got gaslighted when he was reacting to the interview. Bruh, this just shows how seasoned Charlamagne is as a media vet and how unseasoned Akademiks is. Because Akademiks is an independent, he's his own entity, versus Charlamagne, has been in the corporate side of things for decades. You know what I'm saying? So it really wasn't no comparison when it came to who controlled the whole interview. It was clearly Charlamagne. Who looked like the more credible person throughout the entire interview? It was Charlamagne. The times that Act was trying to get his points across, like for one, the whole relationship between Jay-Z and Diddy.
What did you think when he publicly denounced having a friendship with Diddy, even after years of them being at brunches, calling each other their brothers, hugging? When he got under fire, I thought he did a snake move. He put out a statement to his lawyer and said they were never that cool.
I don't care, bro. Like this is supposed to be about us.
No,
like
but
he didn't press on that button enough. He let Charlamagne back out of that without even having to deal with it. Okay, boom, that's one. Two, the entire situation where Charlamagne had a vested interest in the casino. Charlamagne kept saying, oh, I didn't have to disclose anything because there is no casino. The only reason there is no casino because your casino got denied. You feel me? But at the end of the day, you were under the Rock Nation tree of investors that were throwing in with Rock Nation for the casino. Act should have pressed on that harder, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Which showed his lack of preparation for this interview. Basically, Charlamagne just kept jumping on the point, bruh. When you investing in something of that magnitude, you got to throw in with somebody. That's basically his overall point. Okay, that's true, but you threw in with Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? Why you didn't throw in with any of the other groups on there if you truly have no affiliation with Rock Nation? You threw in with Rock Nation because you have a vested interest, bro. Because you have a relationship with that core, with those people. You know what I'm saying? You have a relationship with Jay-Z, which is nothing wrong with that. But don't try to skirt around the fact or beat around the bush and act like it's not what everybody think it is and see it for what it truly is. Act failed on that point. He didn't push hard enough on that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say the lack of preparation and the lack of seasonedness that Act has as somebody who's an interviewer and an interviewee in this interview. You know what I'm saying? Versus somebody like Charlamagne who's been in the game for so long. Another point. Act is sitting here vouching for a dude that lived all the way in Australia that he's never met in person.
In a roundabout
You
way.
act like you didn't know George when I first brought George up to you. When I sent you the pictures that I sent
that's
you.
Grand Wizard.
No,
Like,
his name is George Wynn.
All right, well,
when I sent you those pictures of George, you said, "Who is this?"
Yeah, I didn't.
And I said, "They said this is Grand Wizard Chat nigga. This is George Wynn who runs Akademiks TV." Yeah. You was like, "Damn, I thought he was skinny."
It's not like we done hung out, went on vacation.
Now you're
no, that's my
now you're lying.
No, that's my man.
You didn't act like that was your man when I first brought him up.
You never met Grant Wizard in person, but at the end of the day, you say you trust him with your life. That's your dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, what are we doing? You never seen this dude in person? You never met him? But at the end of the day, you can trust him with your life. You truly trust him that much. The naivete, bro. You know what I'm saying? The lack of awareness this dude possessed to trust somebody all the way overseas, thinking they wouldn't turn on him if it came down to him and Act. Charlamagne telling him that, bruh, your dude was ready to sing on you. He was basically saying everything he was saying, he was dishing out on people, came from Drake and him. Like, I don't get why Act would think that he could trust somebody that lives overseas that he's never met in person. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? And that just shows, I say, the lack of street smarts, bro. You're not street smart at all. You're too naive. You're too trusting. You're too loyal to a fault. What Charlamagne pointed out to you. What Act is trying to prove to Charlamagne, Charlamagne had him looking like a lunatic. He had him looking like Act is slowly losing his mind. Like he really need to put that liquor down. He need to keep that bottle. He need to put the bottle down, bro. Because I'm telling you, if this was the best you could have done, bro, with this interview, when you finally got your chance to confront Charlamagne face to face, and this is the best you come with, Act, you didn't do a good job of presenting your case, my boy. I'm sorry. You looked at hella unprepared, and you looked at like you was just basically going through the motions. You didn't even have the same energy you have on stream for these people, bro. You just didn't. I'm sorry, I gotta call a spade a spade. Like I say, I rock with Act, but at the same time, this wasn't a good look for him. It was not a good look at all. You know what I'm saying? If anybody came out looking better or more credible in this interview, it was Charlamagne. The only thing that got proved without him admitting it is that obviously he's in bed with Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? Which we all knew in the first place. But the fact that Charlamagne was able to skirt around the relationship with Jay-Z, he was able to skirt around why the whole casino, his whole vested interest in the casino situation, like it's just not enough that Act pressed on that he should have pressed on, that he could have got more information out of Charlamagne from. And basically he let Charlamagne gaslight him, thinking that, oh, come on, bro, you know I rock with you, this, that, and the third. Why did it take this long to sit down with him then? If you truly rock with him the way you say you do. And then on top of that, him saying that people constantly telling him all the time, I don't know why you rock with Akademiks. I don't know why you do this. I don't know why you do that. Well, who are those people? And then one could have asked him, also, that's why it took this long to get an interview with you. You know what I'm saying? It took me, from your words, to fight to be denouncing you and trying to shame you publicly, and my dog shaming you publicly, for you to finally come and sit down with me. That don't sound like somebody who I truly have a true reverence for. You know what I'm saying? That don't sound like somebody that has a true reverence for me if it took this long and this many years for you to sit down with me, bro. Like, nah, we not going for that. But being Act, he fell for it. He did. And that's why I say the lack of seasoned media games that people play. You know what I'm saying? That Charlamagne is used to. Akademiks is not used to. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that the psychological warfare that he was playing on Act, that Act wasn't catching on to. It just showed me a dude that's basically not street smart, and that basically got sunned by just a seasoned assassin, bro. You gotta look at this. If you truly gonna accuse somebody of something, you need to come with cold, hard facts, or you gotta be able to tell the story in a way that is leading people to believe that, nah, it might actually be some truth in what he's saying. Act wasn't able to do that, bro. Not in it. He's able to do it in the comfortability of his own home when he's on his stream. But when you got to do it in the lion's den, it's a little different. And that's what Act walked in. He walked in the lion's den. I don't know why he agreed to do this interview with Charlamagne and his people. That dude, Alex, that was his people. Because you're not going to be as comfortable, my boy. You should have had it done on your grounds, in your studio. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't do that. And that's why I say this is a setup from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And it was a way to come out. It was a way for Charlamagne to play on Akademiks top, and for him to make him and Rock Nation look like they are unbothered and not even worried about or thinking about somebody like an Akademiks, like you a small fish in a big pond. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was, bro. And that's why I said this interview did nothing for Act. You know what I'm saying? It proved none of his theories that he was throwing out there. It made him look less credible. It just did, in my opinion. I don't know how other people might feel, but that's just how I feel about it. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Did this interview meet your expectations? Because it didn't for me. I really expected a lot more out of Act. I expected a lot more out of him, and I didn't get it. But it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. It's your boy, Welcome Family Hustle. I'm out.